Today we're going over the Sig P365. So the P365 has been getting a lot of attention as a really good conceal carry pistol. This is because the size that it is, being a 9mm handgun, being able to have 10 rounds in the standard magazine and 12 in an extended, which is really pretty crazy for the size that it is. So I'm going to go over all the features on it here and give you my opinion on it. This one is in flat dark earth, or coyote as Sig calls it, where most of them are normally black. The reason this one is this color is because this is a special edition, which is the NRA edition. Now, as soon as I said NRA, a lot of you have groaned because there are a lot of problems and issues going on with the NRA right now. I don't want to make this video about that, but I'm going to go ahead and put out there that I'm not saying to support the NRA right now. I'm actually not recommending you be a member and give them any money right now. I don't feel that buying this particular gun here is really giving them any money or support that they didn't already have. But this edition gets it, as I said, in the coyote color, which is the only way you can get it in that. Also has the magazine plastic in the matching color. Comes with a fancy little NRA coin thing, which, you know, if the NRA ever gets their act together, will be a lot more cool. So let's go ahead and get down into what comes with this here. This edition comes with 3 magazines. Most only come with 2, which would be this flush one here, the slightly extended pinky grip one there. This one also comes with the extended 12-round magazine. They have made a 15-round version of it, which sticks down further, I guess. And each of these basically allows you a different level of concealability there as far as the grip sticking out. While it does keep it a lot shorter there, it does make it where you kind of hang your pinky off the side when you do that. This one here gives you a little bit of a pinky grip and, you know, gets a little better grip on it there. Still doesn't hang down a whole lot more. And then, of course, the 12-round, which gives you a good full grip on it, but also extends it a good bit past it there. But it also gives you 2 more rounds. It has a very good, aggressive texturing on there, which gives you a really good grip on it. You've got serrations here and here, which are really nice. The tritium sights on this are sights that glow. Now, these aren't like glow-in-the-dark stuff that has to be charged up with light. It just kind of glows all the time. And I'll throw some pictures up here to show you how well this glows, even just in low light. You can really pick these sights up really well. You've got these here, which lets you add lights and other things to it there, so that's a nice feature to have. The magazine release can actually be taken out and flipped the other direction if you need to make it left-handed. And of course, the magazine catch and release works pretty much like any other that you're used to. Nothing unusual going on there. It also comes with a really nice case for it there. Just the quality of the case is a lot nicer than most of them that come from the manufacturer. So I'm going to go ahead and show you disassembly here. One thing that's very nice about this, unlike a lot of the other striker-fired polymer-framed pistols, is that you do not have to fire it to disassemble it. The first thing you'll need to do is lock the slide back. Just hold it back, push up on the slide release and catch there. You're then going to slide down the disassembly lever, and then you'll pull this back and that will just slide off like that. Then it comes apart pretty much like a Glock or anything else that you're used to seeing there. Nothing unusual here. That's all you really ever need to take it down for. You can go further. You can drive out a pin in here and get it apart further, but we don't really need to do that. Put that back in. This recoil spring is interesting in that you've got 2 different sets of springs on it there. So to get this back in place, you're going to have to push the slide release up, then put down the disassembly lever. Kind of hold your finger up against the disassembly lever to keep it from sliding forward. This will go on here and go. There's a little piece up here that can pop in there and catch on that black polymer right there that can keep it from sliding back. Put this into here, slide it to there. Flip up the disassembly lever and she's back together, and she should function normally and properly. As far as how it shoots, it does seem to have a very nice mild recoil to it compared to a lot of the other 9mm of its size. It's really quite remarkable in that case. It doesn't seem much worse than most 380s. Actually doesn't seem a lot worse than my particular 380 that I had as my carry gun before this. As far as how much power it has versus a 380, there's a number of different videos on there that have done a good job with it. Paul Harrell's being one of the best ones on there. As long as you load it with some good ammo on there, it can really get a lot of good power out of it. I've used the Sig V-Crown, not just because it's made by Sig and is supposed to run through it, but that is one advantage of it. But it does seem to have a lot of expansion, as you saw on Paul's video, and also cycles through this really well here. As far as how the ammunition did on it, it all seemed to cycle pretty well. Now, this was a brand new pistol when I got it. It's got a born on date of April 28th of 2019, so it is pretty new. I had one case of the PPU that did not extract. I didn't shoot a whole lot of the PPU. I ran some Remington white and green box through it. That seemed to cycle fine. And obviously all of the Sig V-Crown ran through it really well. So another thing concerning the ammunition and shooting with the P365 is striker drag. Now, I grabbed some of the brass when I was done shooting to take here to show you a little bit of an example of striker drag, but I managed to somehow completely misplace all of them, so I'm going to have to show you some other examples of it. Now, you can see here on this example, which pretty much looks like what they did out of mine, had the striker just dragged across the primer there a little bit and left a weird shaped indentation, versus some of these which are more normal looking. This can lead to extra stress on the striker, and early on with the P365 was causing a lot of problems with it. Now, while Sig has not gotten rid of the primer drag issue, they have reinforced the striker, and as far as how that is going to work, we'll have to see. Now, one thing on this that's important as a carry gun is the size and weight of it. Now, I mentioned my old 380 that I used. That was a Bersa Thunder 380 that I have right here. You can see that really there's just not a lot of difference in size in them. The P365 is actually a little bit shorter than the Bersa when you take that beaver tail into account. Even with the extended, it's still maybe a tick shorter than the Bersa, or right about the same size. It's not a whole lot different. And actually, with this being a polymer frame here, the weight is actually considerably less on the P365. We'll go ahead and try these unloaded here. So the Bersa with an unloaded magazine is at 1 pound 4.25 ounces. The P365 with an unloaded mag is at 1 pound 2.4 ounces, which is considerably less. When we go with the Bersa with a fully loaded 7-round magazine of 380, we're at 1 pound 6.5 ounces. P365 with a 10-round mag, 10 rounds of 9mm, is 1 pound 6.7 ounces. We're talking fully loaded with 3 more rounds of 9mm in it, and it's just a tick over that. With the 12-round mag, we're looking at 1 pound 7.9 ounces. So still, even with a 12-round extended magazine, we're not a whole lot more weight than the Bersa that I was carrying there. And this is going to have a lot more power in it and a lot more capacity. Now, as far as other thoughts on it here, ergonomically, this is, as I pointed out, a little bit close on it there that, I mean, my pinky just kind of hangs off and doesn't really have a place to go on it. That gives me a little bit more to bite onto. But this guy does print a whole lot less when you're carrying it, so that's a good reason to go with that. Another thing that I forgot to mention about the magazines is that when you first get them, they are very, very stiff, it's really difficult to load rounds into them, particularly the 12 rounder. The recommendation from others on the internet was to leave them fully loaded for about a week, and that's what I did, and that really seemed to help it out there. Also, as I took them to the range and loaded them and fired them empty, that started to help them get a little bit easier to load. I've also noticed when racking the slide back to bring in the next round that you really have to make sure that you don't ride the slide forward. And it's a bad habit that I got into, and it's very bad on this one. When you rack this one, you got to bring it back and just let it go and slide forward. You can't just ride it forward on there, particularly if you're using hollow points, even the Sig hollow points. You've really got to let that thing just slap forward on its own. And that's probably not really a negative. That's probably more me just getting into bad habits with it. Now, while this texturing on this is really nice and gives you a good solid grip on it there, when it's in the holster that I have, it kind of hangs off the side a little bit here. And this rubbing up against me all the time just like really super irritates me there. I'm gonna try this Hogue grip here. We'll see how this little rubberized grip on it is there. But I really do seem to like it. It's working out pretty well for me now. I'll have to run some more rounds through it and see if I can get my accuracy with it a little bit better, because I am not a particularly good shot with a pistol. But I think this could be a really good gun for you. So I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to like or comment. You can also subscribe to my channel to make sure that you don't miss any of the videos that I put out. I'm Jeremy with Poindexter G, and we'll see you next time.